The following program is intended to educate and inform. We discuss cannabis being used as medicine, the culture, science, and controversy of cannabis and cannabis laws. We do not advocate any illegal activity. Moth Networks and their associates do not claim to be lawyers or doctors, nor do they represent themselves as such. All their comments and views are of their own personal opinion and personal experiences. Opinions and claims made by the guests and advertisers on Moth Networks are their own, and all parties agree to the Moth Network use and policy agreement. Moth Network and Moth Network associates cannot be held legally responsible for the statements of the host or of their guests. We encourage all listeners to learn their constitution, to assert their rights, acknowledge their duties, and know their individual state laws.
You are now tuned in to 710 Radio. We are the newest and hottest independent radio station in Colorado and on the internet. The fans named the station. With over 1 million visitors and over 10 million hits. Oh yeah, our website is going bananas. We are the newest and the hottest. This is 710 Radio. 24/7 radio. Stay tuned and tell a friend. The Dabber's Choice. With hot shows 7 days a week.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team fucking here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Now, what's up, everybody? This is 710 Radio Moth 22.9 here in Denver, Colorado, man. And I am Rick Wainwright.
And I am Patrick Partridge. And this is Let's Talk About It.
up, everybody? This is Rick Wainwright.
And this is Patrick Partridge.
This is Let's Talk About It, man. So, I hope you all had a great week. Did you have a good week, Patrick?
Yeah, I did, man. All in all, it's been a pretty good week, actually.
Right. Good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I didn't have too bad of a week myself, man, so I really can't complain. But
all right.
So, it's kind of a long title for the show tonight. I mean, I can change it, but just to get one up there, I put El Paso County Commissioners votes to quash its residents' rights. Town votes to rule as a dictatorship.
Well, that's about what they're trying to do. They're trying to usurp what the Colorado Constitution says, that all power is derived from the people. They don't have this power, brother. So I think we're going to have to test the waters, if you will.
Well, you are down in El Paso County, right?
Yes, I am.
And you started a new page here just recently, did you not?
Yes, I did. It's called the El Paso County Commissioner Warriors.
So,
if you'd like to join, go ahead and join, but we prefer to have El Paso County residents join to help us in this fight. But we need everyone's help.
Right? Hey, I say flood their damn emails, make their phones ring off the damn hook. So it don't matter what county you live in, man. Tell them it's wrong what they're doing to their residents. But
well, the fact is, if we stand down and let them do it here in El Paso County, the second largest county in Colorado, as well as the most red card holders, medical card holders in the state, if we let them do it here, they're going to come to your county. And they're going to tell you, you can only grow 12 plants. Even though your doctor or your medical necessity states that you are deemed to need more, oh no, these county commissioners can decide unilaterally how much your need is. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to. I did have an article up, but for some oddball reason, I gotta re-look for it. But it talks about what the El Paso County Commissioners are doing. Just let me pull up this story real quick, and I apologize, man. I thought I was 100% ready for you.
That's all right. Take your time, brother. This is a stoner show. We're not real rigid on time, but we're going to try to be starting at a regular time from now on.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, man, it was kind of nice to be able to get everything ready and.
Sure, and that's why we're going to have it from now on. We're still going to keep it 7:10 team, but we're going to have to back it up to 7:10 Pacific, which will be 8:10 Mountain where we live. But considering everything in our daily schedules that we needed to get done, and considering that this is a Saturday, so I personally cannot start my day until sundown. That means I got to rush to eat. That means you know what I mean?
Right.
And so moving it back to 8:10, 7:10 Pacific is better for both of us, obviously.
All right, so let me see here. I'm just getting everything posted up where it's supposed to be posted up at. All right, so this is off KOAA.com, and September 8th, 2015 is the date. and I am not seeing a author, so I can't give them credit. But News 5 investigates El Paso County Commissioners limit marijuana plant growing operations. El Paso County Commissioners are limiting the number of marijuana plants homeowners can grow. Folks are coming in from outside our state and in some cases outside the U.S. to grow marijuana in large quantities right in our neighborhoods. Commissioner Amy Lathan said, now nobody can grow more than 12 plants. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are doing. You can grow 12 plants and that's it. Colorado state law currently allows medical marijuana patients to grow up to 12 plants. Here's the breakdown. 6 medical, 6 recreational. However, patients can sign over their growing rights to others, creating large-scale growing operations. This temporary resolution drafted by the commissioners closes this gap. A spokesperson for the El Paso County Sheriff's Office also says, although a person can have up to 12 plants, only 6 can be matured at one time. Law enforcement told commissioners last month they couldn't do anything about large operation neighbors complained about because the laws weren't clear. So far this year, Crime Stoppers have responded to 54 complaints related to marijuana home grows. The number one hotspot for growing pot is near Meriden and Woodman on the east side of the county. El Paso County Sheriff deputies have identified 10 large grow operations in the unincorporated parts of the county, each of which are growing anywhere from 50 to 250 plants. Excuse me. Commissioners have also heard from landlords whose tenants have destroyed homes in the process of growing pot. The impact to property is extraordinary, Lathan said. They don't just walk in, set up shop in the back room, and grow a few plants. They gut the walls, strip things down, and pirate electric and pirate water in some cases. Prior to this new law, landlords would have to sue tenants in court to recover damages.
No, I disagree. If I establish that you committed property damage on my property, that's criminal. See, they're misinterpreting the law. I don't care whether you lease my property or not. If you have done physical damage to my property at the end of the lease, I can file charges against you criminally. It's not just civilly. They've already got these laws into place to make that kind of behavior criminal, which it is. My argument, and the argument that I'm taking to the is that, number one, you cannot change the Constitution of the people or will of the people without a vote. That's called due process.
Well, we're going to get into that. I'm going to finish this.
What I'm hearing is the cops made a complaint because these people got calls because, these people are growing marijuana. No different than when we were in Prohibition. These people are growing marijuana. You got to do something. And now the cops are realizing, wait, our hands are tied. We can't do anything because they passed new laws. You got to pass new other laws to say that we can do something against this.
You're right.
Because the way the laws are now, they changed it. We can't. All I'm hearing is whining by the police and whining by landlords who want to charge us exuberant amounts of rent and get away with it.
Right.
So, in the property damage, if you damage my rental property more than that exceeds the deposit, I can charge you criminally. If you intended to do damage to my property, like you're describing, I can get you charged criminally. That's property destruction. There's already laws on the books for that. Just enforce them laws.
Right. No, I agree.
My argument is we don't have to make patients criminals, and that is who they're going after. They're saying if you got a larger account, it's okay to sign them over to a dispensary so we can charge you and taxes like that. We know you're not going to get your elevated plant count. You're not going to be able to afford to purchase your elevated plant count, so they're going to make more money off you by just giving away your plant than actually letting you make the medicine you need.
Oh,
That's all.
right.
Well, that's why what I'm saying, Rick. That's why I'm getting ready to do what I'm going to do.
Well,
and yes, I am. This is kind of a conflict of interest, for, if you will, me being the co-host of this show. But I am getting ready to put El Paso County Commissioners on notice about their arbitrary plant count, about the way they changed the rule on our ability to make our own medicine through ethanol processes that have been proven safe. Now, I can understand people blowing up their kitchens that don't know what they're doing. There's charges for that. That's endangerment and property damage and things like that. Enforce those laws. You don't have to enact other laws because there's other people out here that know how to do it safely. It's never cause harm, that is only help individuals that you turned into a criminal if they tried to make medicine for sick people. Pretty doggone mean, if you ask me. And it goes against the intent of 820.
Right. Well, let me finish this this article. Now violating this ordinance would result in jail time, but criminal charges that could result in jail time as well. So it's a constant balance between the rights of the individual, between the rights of the state. Casey Starks, a marijuana activist and owner of Studio 64, said, "Putting a limit on plants for patients seems unkind and unjust. If you're putting a limit on plants because you want to stop drug dealers from moving into the neighborhood, I understand that, but where is the line drawn?" Starks says if law enforcement's goal is to crack down on dealers, it may not work. Marijuana has been illegal for 79 years, and law enforcement has never been able to stop the drug dealers, so creating laws you cannot enforce can sometimes be worse than having no law at all. The temporary resolution is effective immediately. In order for it to become a permanent law, the Planning and Zoning Commission has to sign off on it, and modifications need to be made to the Land Development Code. This is a developing story, and we will keep you updated as new information becomes available.
Well, now they're making a land and zoning issue criminal.
Well,
that's almost like you building, you building an illegal shed on your property, I guess. And now instead of making you tear it down, they're going to put you in jail for it.
Right.
They're changing the laws. They're manipulating the laws any way they want to see that it's objectified. And in fact, it never will hold water in any Supreme Court because we've already know. I'm not going to tell you the strategy. I will just tell you the candy. First off, we've got a Supreme Court standing called People versus Kelly. The California Supreme Court rules that you cannot change the Constitution without the vote of the people. And this is a constitutional amendment issue that they're unilaterally trying to change.
Right.
Secondly, thirdly, fourthly, and fifthly, we have Jason Liu as a case in point study that gives us standing. Your case, which obviously you have fought and won this battle in criminal court for your freedom. We also have precedent here in El Paso County that Alicia Osborne, and Bob Krause showed them that you cannot put these laws on me arbitrarily against the Constitution.
Right.
And they just seem to keep wanting to do it. And what I'm seeing that the only thing they're going to listen to is us standing before the judge, racking 12 juries and one judge, and explaining our case and showing the constitutionality of what they're trying to do, or the uncapped constitutionality of what they're trying to do, and letting the courts decide because they don't listen to us.
Right.
This was brought up last month. And it can be implemented as early as next month.
Well,
When did they give us due process or hearings to for or against or anything?
well, I tell you, man, I've been saying this, ever since my trial, that, the only way to get any of this done is in the court systems, unfortunately.
Well, yeah. I sit by and I watched when they changed here in El Paso County. My right to make my medicine what benefits me the absolute most. Now, we're not only talking about ethanol extraction. Our ministry and our friends of the church produce grapeseed spirits.
Right.
And they're licensed to do that, and they're going to donate products so we can make oil for sick people, but they hinder me as a minister, medicine man of my church, my ability to do that. They threaten me, my ability to do that here in El Paso County by making a law that says I cannot extract anything off cannabis using ethanol extraction.
As a patient and as a caregiver, I would challenge that in court if they came and try to charge me with anything, because that is winnable in court as a patient and a caregiver, because I don't give a fuck what law that they passed. As a patient, I have the right to make the medicine that I need that suits me best.
Well,
now,
according to Amendment 2, Section 1B, Section 1B, it says that patients, caregivers, and doctors shall never be added into the criminal code.
okay.
It states it right there in Amendment 20. They cannot pass any law that produces any criminality to what we do.
Right.
And they continue to do it. And the only way we're going to stop them is by taking them to damn court. And nobody else wants to do it. Everybody wants to do it as a group. Let me tell you something. If you do it as a group, you're going to lose. And the reason I'm going to say this, and I'm only going to say it one time, because they're not impinging on a group's rights. These are individual rights. And we need to each step up and take this issue at hand. Not as a group, but individually say, no, you're not going to take away my rights.
Right.
Because it's not a group issue. I'm not going to go and sign on a lawsuit with a group of people. I'm going to do this individually. I'm going to go down Monday morning. I'm going to get the papers. I'm going to have everything documented. I'm going to have the commissioners served and put on notice. And that way I'm going to leave the ball in their court. So I'm not going to go alone. I'm going to have other people that go down and follow my lead and do the same exact thing that I'm doing. And then we're going to ask them, how long do you want to drag this out? Because all it takes is one of us to file, and you got to put the brakes on it until it's sorted out in court. Or you can just end it all right now and say you're not going to put any arbitrary limits on it.
Well, you said it best in our conversation before we came on the air. Actually, it might have been earlier today, but nobody thought about adding that one sentence, about medical marijuana patients are exempt.
Well, no. You see, if we'd have put it in that would have always questioned what Bob Krause won on. You don't have to have a medical card to exercise your rights of medical cannabis in this state. All you have to do is have a recommendation from your doctor.
Right.
So that's what they should put in there. Anyone with a medical recommendation is exempt. One sentence, we wouldn't be in this fight.
Because that was my whole...
They can pass laws and criminalize recreational behavior that pertains to Amendment 64. But no way, shape, form, or fashion can they pass laws to interpret it to make criminals out of patients, caregivers, or doctors according to Amendment 20. No way. Ever.
Well,
and that's what they're trying to do.
And
excuse me for being passionate and excited here, but
no, you're fine.
I'm pretty upset at this. Every day I wake up, I'm losing more rights.
So
Now this hits real close to home to me. I live in Colorado Springs. So this is really affecting my ability to not only care for myself, but care for my members that are close to me, my family members that can't grow or they can't produce the medicine that they need.
well,
They're unilaterally criminalizing my behavior, which Amendment 20 states unequivocally. The law states equivocally you cannot make this behavior criminal.
right.
And that's what they're doing. So
Well-
now we've got to test it in court. Now,
And-
one thing I got that I'm kind of backing away from, that I'm worried about, and I might request to change the venue and file it at a different. Have the judges recuse themselves that decided the DirecTV issue. They can ask for a change of venue because I don't believe that decision was fair and just according to the Constitution of Colorado. But that's going to be determined on appeal anyways eventually. And then in the United States Supreme Court. Because the way I interpreted what they read was they read the United States Constitution, implemented it into Colorado Constitution and said, oh, we can't override this. When in all actuality, all their job is to uphold the Constitution of Colorado.
Right.
And they failed to do that. So I find them all to be impeachable on those grounds alone. They did not uphold their duty to uphold the Constitution of the state of Colorado. That's the oath they all take. None of these elected officials can ever use the excuse, oh, we're conflicted on state law, federal law. Do you represent anything federal? No. You're elected to represent the state constitution, and you take an oath to uphold the state of Colorado's constitution.
Right.
And the people speak and rule on that. We don't care what they decide on federal. Let them come fuck with our state constitution. Up until now, they haven't. Imagine that. So, you know what I mean? They use this excuse, and that's what I'm hearing all the time. No, you cannot do that. What you think you're getting away with. And the only reason they're getting away with it, Rick, and you know what I do, because people have refused to step up and demand their rights back.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And these are God-given rights. No man can take them away. No words on paper, no signatures, no one.
Well,
These are your rights. And we all got to stand up for them.
you know, I
And
mean,
each and every one of them is also, it's just as important as the next one. That's why, hey, I've never denied this, Rick. And I'll admit it here on public radio where it's going to be recorded for terrestrial history forever. I am not a fan, did not vote, did not support AC4 at all. But once it was voted in by the people, I defend that right just as well as I do the other rights.
right. Well,
That's what I have to do. Because without that, they're taking that one back away, or they're taking the other one back away. Now, you know what? I do believe it needs to be amended. I do believe it needs to be fixed because they allow a lot of things in there that is really, really unconstitutional. But it's not so much the amendment, it's the bills they pass afterward.
right.
Like they did
That
with
they
H1
think
with 1284.
that they
1284, you know as well as I do, is unconstitutional law. And the only reason it still exists is because no one has challenged it.
Well, that's why I say we need that legal fund.
Well, me and Rick has been discussing, and I need you guys to our listeners. Thank you one and all for listening to last week's show. We appreciate every one of you. 100 plus listeners.
113.
How much?
113.
Hey, right on, man. That's a new record.
Right. No,
But, thank you each and every one of you. But Mr. Rick was just starting a rights advocate or human rights. I mean, these are unalienable human rights that we're talking about here. There's not words that's written up a piece of paper. We're talking about when those rights are violated, we're going to create a group that creates a fund with lawyers available that we file lawsuits. Now, we're not talking about setting up funds to defend each and every little case and go and help you out in your little county case. No, we're talking about challenges that affect everyone's rights. If your rights violated and we see that your case is going to be a test case, and we do our due diligent research, and we find that we have standing, if we can file a lawsuit to fix that problem that's hurting you, we want to know about it. And that's the reason, that's what we want to start the fund for. It's not a defense fund, it's a rights defense fund, not a criminal case defense fund.
Right. I mean, it's desperately needed because, you got to understand the Amendment 20 in the Colorado Constitution. I mean, that's what was written in gold, right? Okay, that's in stone. All right, now that is your rights. That is your protection. That Constitution. That's your protection as a citizen of Colorado. Okay, now, yes, they have passed a lot of bills to say, oh, well, it didn't mean this in the Constitution, it meant this, so we're going to make a law for this. Well, see, the problem is...
Are you moderately changing the Constitution by determining what the people actually meant it to be?
Oh, well, sure. Well, sure, man. I mean, in my case, okay, there's one word in the Colorado Constitution that almost got me in trouble in Amendment 20. And that word was the word exception. Okay, now, one of my lawyers was one of the lawyers that co-drafted Amendment 20. And I knew...
Well, say his name. Give him credit. Give him credit or give him doubt. What are the two?
Oh, no, my lawyer was great. I love him, man. Robert Corey was my lawyer. Okay, now, he co-wrote...
We'll have to agree to disagree on law problem.
Well, that's okay. I mean, for me...
I don't dislike Rob Corey. It's just what I've seen and heard about his caseload lately, I'm not impressed.
No, I would have to agree with you. Okay, now, Robert and I have we are friends, okay, but it's a very strange friendship. All right,
he's a strange guy.
One day, I'll dog his ass, but the next day I'm defending him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Well, full disclosure, I got nothing personally against him. I've just seen some of the things and heard, and everybody that I know that's used him that I know personally, he's helped. But I have heard the other stories where he signed plea bargains. He wasn't willing to go to trial when he possibly could have won.
Oh, trust.
He convinced the client to take this plea bargain when in actuality he threw him under the bus so he could get a more high-profile case of better standing. So I don't know if these are true or not. All I can go on is what I've heard. But I personally don't hire a plea bargain attorney.
Well, at that time, my life was on the line. And at the time he was the best at the time. We've
discussed this before. I don't really trust attorneys anyways because of the simple term bar exam and what it really stands for, of which the people of this country don't really know. They just assume the bar exam is the law exam. Well, what does the bar stand for? It's the British Accreditation Registry. It's British law.
How is that possible?
They don't represent me or my constitution if they signed accreditation to the British Registry.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, look it up. Look it up. Don't believe a damn word I say. Google it.
Man, I mean, that's a whole nother damn show, ain't it?
Google bar exam, and what is it? What does bar stand for?
All right, hold on.
And not one of them will consider talking about jury nullification. That's a taboo. Only because they're beholden to the court, not you. That's why I'd rather do my own legal research. And I know of a person that represents himself has a fool for a client, so they say. But that's only because they're trying to break the band of brotherhood of the British court system. Did you find it, Rick?
I'm looking.
All right. Just Googling, what does bar exam mean? It's a pretty simple question. Google answers simple questions. British Accreditation Registry.
Hold on, maybe this will tell me.
And the funny thing is, it's the only definition printed. It's the only definition there is. They don't have no other follow-up, secondary. They have what it's used for, but the term bar exam, this is what it means, and that's it. There's no other term, no other definition, nothing. So that's pretty definitive of what it actually is.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it.
You can't. All right, try this keyword. The law bar exam.
The law bar exam?
Yeah, for lawyers. Lawyers bar exam. What does it mean? What does that stand for?
Alright, let's see here.
Any listeners out there that can look it up, that would be muchly appreciated.
Right,
I know
right.
we did have one gentleman that was listening last week that was helping us out pretty good. We appreciate that, by the way.
Right, Mr. Mark Dean out of North
In
Carolina.
fact, when we make swag, that guy's going to get a T-shirt from us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, I can't find it, man. It is eluding me for some oddball reason. Well, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
No.
It's the British Accreditation Registry is what it is, brother. Well, just type that in. British Accreditation Registry. And it'll say another term for the bar exam.
British Accreditation
Registry.
All right. Well. So let me open this one link. And it says, educate yourself. This is, educateyourself.org. hiding behind the bar. Why attorneys are not lawyers. In the U.S., they're collectively called everything from attorney to lawyer to counselor. Are these terms truly equivalent, or has the identity of one been mistaken for another? What exactly is a licensed bar attorney? This credential accompanies every legal paper produced by attorneys, along with a state bar license number. As we are about to show you, an attorney is not a lawyer. Yet the average American improperly interchanges these words as if they represent the same occupation, and the average American attorney unduly accepts the honor to be called lawyer when he is not. In order to discern the difference and where we stand within the current court system, it is necessary to examine the British origins of our U.S. courts and the terminology that has been established from the beginning. It's important to understand the proper lawful definitions for the various titles we now give these court-related occupations. The legal profession in the U.S. is directly derived from the British system. Even the word bar is of British origin. Bar, a particular portion of a courtroom, named from the space enclosed by two bars or rails, one of which separated the judge's bench from the rest of the room. The other shut off both the bench and the area for lawyers engaged in trials from the space allotted to suitors, witnesses, and others. Such persons as appeared as speakers, advocate, or counsel before the court were said to be called to the bar. That is, privileged, so to appear, speak, and otherwise serve in the presence of the judges as barristers. The corresponding phrase in the United States is admitted to the bar. A Dictionary of Law, 1893. From the definition bar, the title occupation of a barrister is derived. Barrister, English law, 1. A counselor admitted to plead at the bar. Ouster barrister is one who pleads ouster or without the bar. Inner barrister is a sergeant or king's counsel who pleads within the bar. A vacation barrister is a counselor newly called to the bar who is to attend for several long vacations the exercise of the house. Barristers are called apprentices, apprenti, ad legem, being looked upon, being looked upon as learners and not qualified until they obtain the degree of sergeant. Edwin Plowden, the author of Commentaries, a volume. Oh, okay, well, it's a law dictionary.
Okay. The whole point I'm trying to make is, where does that sound like their loyalty stand?
Yeah, well, with the Brits.
It says every lawyer that's registered with the bar is an officer of the court.
Yeah, that's what it says.
What part is that makes it sound like they're your buddy?
Well,
come on now. Hey, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
No, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and...
Why does the court usually mandate that you have an attorney? You shouldn't be allowed. But see, the Constitution makes it positive. You can't represent yourself. And if you do your due diligence, even if the court appoints you an attorney, they have to take second seat.
Right.
Okay? Now, where most folks go wrong in that is their preparation going in. What I've learned is I myself cannot do it all, and I make sure I have friends of mine doing different types of research. So when I get there, I've read all of their research that they sent me. So basically what I'm saying is they do research, so I'm not chasing down a dead-end rabbit hole. the evidence that I present, me being representing myself or whoever representing themselves, should do their research and focus on the things that pertain on their faith. And that's why it helps to have friends that is willing to spend time to help you do that research. And you got to also know where to look. Unfortunately, they've scrambled the law so much and confused everyone. Everybody thinks, oh, I got an attorney to understand it. No. Basic understanding, reading and understanding of the language will help you determine right and wrong. And always refer back to the Constitution when you're representing yourself.
Always.
They can never deny admittance of a constitutional law in place in a court of law. Never.
Right.
So whatever they try to represent, if you know for a fact, if you know your Constitution and you know your rights, never let them put an arbitrary law that you know goes against that Constitution. Never let them use that against you. And if they do, you dismiss that testimony or you vehemently object, and that way you place grounds for your appeal. The only way we win this, folks, is by using the law they've established against us, against them. But the only way we can do that is by knowledge of our rights, knowledge of the law that they use against us to use back at them. Because if they expect us to live by that law, they must live within that law as well.
Damn right.
So, and that's where I'm at. I'm tired of them. You know, it's like mission creep, and it's what I feel like. Every day I wake up, and I'm losing another right. You know, and no one standing up saying a word or doing anything about it. So, you know, at this point, man, this directly affects me in more ways than one. It's more people than I can count. So, and, you know, I'm not looking, you know, anybody and everybody's allowed to come and join the webpage on the Facebook page. You can cut and paste the letter that I'm going to present. Change your name or change my name with your name. Present it to them. But before you do that, go to the courthouse. Get the papers. Fill them out. If you need help, we can help. We can tell you where to look. We can't give you the advice on what to do or whatever. All I can do is what I know how to do. All right? I can lead you in the direction to give you the knowledge the same way I got it, but I can't give it to you because the law states that very plainly I can't. But I can lead you in that direction.
Right.
I can give you the president. I can give you, you know, I can help you with a lot, but you got to do it on your own as well. So when you're questioned, you're not going by what you heard. You're going by what you know and what you learned.
Right.
You know, I preach this on my Facebook page. I preach this on the radio. I talk about it on the streets. Educate yourself because if they've taught us one thing, is knowledge is power. Okay? Did we or did we not learn that and hear that from the individual that created the Affordable Health Care Act when they released them secret recordings where he said it was because the people didn't know the law and we got away with selling it in a way. Did we get it passed? It was our own ignorance that allowed them to pass a law that they knew was direct lie, and they were directly lying about what was in it to sell it to us. And they knew it was, but because of our ignorance, we didn't know. Well, I refuse to be one of those ignorant.
Right.
And if that puts me on a list, then so be it.
Right.
You know, if you know, as the old saying goes, if you're not on a list by now, you're fucking doing it wrong.
Right. Well, Patrick, let's
You know, just like our opening song, which is probably going to, in the end, end up being a lot of our theme song. It's going to be a theme. Know your enemy.
Right.
And if you go to YouTube and you watch the official video of that song, you'll know what I mean. You know, watch Testify.
Right.
Watch that video. I mean, you know, number one, folks, you got to recognize one thing. We can't beat them by conventional war. We can't fight these people by bullets. You know why? Because every time we go buy a soda, they finance another bullet or another bomb or another big tank to use against us. We can't do it through violence. We can do it through the court system where it ties that violent hand right up, where it cannot act against us.
Right.
We got to stop it before it starts. And the only way we do that by establishing our rights in the court of law. I keep hearing by these future hopeful Republican nominees. I heard it repeatedly the other night in the Republican national debate where the candidates are debating. I kept hearing, we're a country of the law. We're a country of rule of law. Well, it's time we start using that law against these crooks that think they're running us. And this is where it starts, folks. All politics are local. You make change local, they got to recognize it federally. They got to recognize them nationwide. Do you think they really paid attention when we were medical? No. We were the first state to pass A64, legalize marijuana. Where do you think that put Colorado on the map then?
Right.
We had to put our pecker on the anvil and be the little mouse standing before the eagle and say, fuck you. We the people will overrule whatever you're going to say to it. We don't care. We don't care. It's our power that overrules your power. Because the only power you got is what we give you. And right here, we change your power. We're the only state that has not went through the DEA raids. We ain't went, unless, of course, they're caught doing something that is directly outlined, like sending cannabis out the back door or shipping it across state line. You know, I always say, man, Colorado created us a bubble. All this constitutional amendment did is give us Coloradoans rights. It didn't give us rights to commit laws recognized in other states or steal federal laws by sending it out of this state or doing things that we know would still be against the law were we not residents in the state of Colorado.
Right.
Now, it's not for me to judge whether you do that or whether you don't do that. It's not my opinion to judge that. Okay? But if they want to continue to write these laws to use against us, it's time we stand up and use a few of them against their selves. And the only way that happens, dude, is by each and every one of us standing up for each and every right that's being stepped on. And that is individual rights. We don't get these rights collectively. People forget this is not a democracy, folks. This is a republic that stands on a constitution that says one can own and not have to give up to the rest. That's the beauty of a republic, which we seem to forget because we're brainwashed in believing we're a democracy. That's the first beginning of the lies. I mean, we're not a democracy. We're a republic. A republic don't rule by 51%. Can rule over the 49.
Right.
This country don't work that way. Our rights are individual, unequivocal, unalienable. And that's where we got to stand up and fight, at the individual level. Heck, we've pulled through these groups and, we look better if we tie our lawsuits together. No. If we pass back forth with the lawsuits and do all the same lawsuits, you've got to hear each and every one of them.
Right?
One wins, we all win.
Well, with that being said, bud, let's take a break, and we're going to be, we'll come back and we'll discuss that a little bit more, all right?
Hey, why don't you play Testify during the break?
Okay. Well, I'll have to pull
Play
that
the one you got, and then we'll follow that up and testify.
I'll see if I have it.
All right. I know you got it. We played it before.
Oh, okay. Hey, if I got it, I'll pull it up. All right, guys. This is 710 Radio Moth 22.9, and this is Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it.
Right? We'll be back.
LMW Agency. That's LMW Agency. It's the home of One Blunt Radio. It's the home of 710 Radio. It's the home of Cannabis University and Cannabis Museum. Yes, you can contact us at lmwagency1@gmail.com. It's the home of Olympic Newts. Yes, it's the home of Moth229.com. Moth, medicine of the herb. You can find Olympic Newts right now in stores like HTG Supply, like Grow Depot, like the Speak Easy Vape Lounge in Colorado Springs, heading to Humboldt County. LMW Agency, the home of Blunt TV, cable TV, coming soon.
What's up, my 710 Radio listeners? Rick Wainwright here, and I want to tell you guys about a church that I am a member of and support fully. They're called Green Faith Ministries, NAC, and they are the nation's first and only state and federally approved non-denominational cannabis church. They've been serving the community with cannabis-friendly church services, educational events, and outreach programs. We only grow with your support, and our services are fully funded through donations from patients, patrons, and community supporters like yourself. Green Faith Ministries is a branch of the Native American Church and is a religious charity organization. So I ask you to please support our work with a tax-deductible donation today at www.greenfaithministry.com. Because your faith with Green Faith Ministries is a match designed by the Creator.
I could not foresee this thing happening to you. If I look hard enough into the setting sun, my love will laugh with me before the morning comes. I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes.
and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell him a hookah smoking caterpillar has given you a call. Call Alice when she was just small. When the men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind is moving low, go ask Alice, I think you'll know. Logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backward, and the red queen's on with her head. Remember what the dog said. Leave your head, leave your
Picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Cellophane flowers of yellow and green towering over your head. Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes and she's gone. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Follow her down to a bridge by a fountain where rocking horse people eat marshmallow pies. Everyone smiles as you drift past the flowers that grow so incredibly high. Newspaper taxis appear on the shore, waiting to take you away. Lying in the back with your head in the clouds and you're gone. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Picture yourself on a train in a station with plasticine pauses with looking glass ties. Suddenly someone is there at the turnstile, the girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
right, we are back. 710 Radio Mod 22.9, and this is Let's Talk About It. So, man, we had an interesting conversation going there during the break. And, you know, guys, it really does come down to what is acceptable to you. And I mean, if it's acceptable to you for your rights to be trampled on, then I mean, I can't say nothing about that. But, you know, personally, that's why I went to court. Because, you know, I was not going to allow my rights to get trampled on. And, you know, my name being smeared through the mud, and man, you know, it was hard. And in the end, you know, I mean, I did come out victorious, but, you know, to me, it was unacceptable for them to say, okay, yes, you can have it, you know, the medical marijuana, but you can only do this with it. No, wait a minute. That's not what the Constitution said. And you know, I will always go back on that Constitution, because that is, you know, a powerful protection for you. And I don't care what a lesser law cannot overwrite our constitutional right. And I'm telling you, if I was an El Paso County resident, I would definitely be getting down to the City Hall building and voicing my opinion.
No. It's county court.
Is it county court?
You got to file in the county Supreme Court or the county Superior Court.
Hey, okay.
And we each individually get the court papers. If y'all need help finding out the court cases and want to establish your standing, you know, you find that page on Facebook or look us up, and I'll be more than happy to lead you in the right direction. Because if we don't individually stand up and show them it's more than just one. And, you know, the way I look at petitions, it is more like one person is saying something and we all, the undersigned, agree with this person. We're not individually stating, we're putting you on notice that we recognize the fact that you are violating my rights. I am putting you individually on notice that I recognize that you're violating my rights. And I, myself, I don't care what everyone else is allowing you to do. I, myself, will not allow you to do that.
Right.
And that's what we all need to stand up and do. Because united we stand, divided we fall. But that's an individual united. If we all come with the united front, in other words, you know, if we all come with the same fight, not all in agreement, no, it's a different way of doing it. You're not agreeing with me. You're going to take this fight yourself because your individual, your own rights are being threatened and violated. And if you don't stand up for your rights and I don't stand up for my rights, then they go away. And I'm not willing to let my rights go away.
No, neither am I.
You know, and like I told you earlier, man, when we were discussing this, I'm just tired, honestly, man, of waking up every day and seeing where another one of my God-given unalienable, that word is very definitive and specific. Unalienable rights taken away by another man.
Well,
by words on a piece of paper signed by other individuals whose whole intent is to restrict me and free themselves. because they don't live under the same rule of law as I was getting to before we went to break. You heard it all the time, all night long with those Republican nominees. We're a country of laws, and we live under the rule of law. Well, why don't they live up to the same laws that they are preaching about, that they've restricted us with? They don't recognize that. That's like how you read I love how you quoted that lady, that downstairs, that El Paso County Commissioner, when she stated, the law is 12's it, that's it. Well, no, you're forgetting to finish that sentence. Unless otherwise medically necessary.
Right.
You can't cut that off right there and think, oh, this is the law. That's only half the law, ma'am. I respectfully disagree with your interpretation. And I'd like to gladly show you Webster's Dictionary of the definition of each and every word that you're trying to interpret it as the way the people interpret it. Because it's very simple English. I hate to go that simple on this lady, but it's very cut and dried. The simple English, Webster's English, not Wikipedia English, Webster's, the King's English, as we like to claim. There we go, that English term again. All right. It's very specifically claimed in our Constitution. It's plain language. You can't unilaterally, 8 or 9 people, or however many commissioners they are, decide upon yourself and the landlords who already charge us exuberant amounts of rent. They get away with it. They get away with charging us 3 times the national average. Really? And you know the biggest reason our increase in rent has been the green rush.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to get in on the cash dollar.
Oh, yeah.
But now they're whining. Now, understand, Rick, my argument, as I established when I heard the police, because this only became a problem when the sheriff's office complained to the commissioner. Wah. They passed a law that says we can't bother them. Now you got to do something about it. And it don't matter if you infringe on their rights. You got to do something. Wait a minute. We already have laws that establishes you cannot destroy property. That's number one. Whether you're leasing the property or not. You can still be criminally held liable if you intentionally damage someone else's property. That's already a law. Enforce that law. Don't claim it's a civil matter and make the landlord have to go to civil court. No, there's provisions already in the law that he can claim criminal damage that was intentionally done. That's already on the books. They are just out to punish patients. And how I can prove that, my friend, is they're saying, if you got an extended plan count, you got to sign it over to the dispensaries, or you got to buy it from them. They're going to charge you taxes, and we're going to get our big. No, that wasn't the intent of A20. And it's time we stand up and remind them of that. And at the very least, remind them of our Bill of Rights and remind them who is the boss. We are. All authority in this state is derived from the public. You can't pass laws unilaterally against us, not in the public interest. You can't do that. And that's what they're doing, just doing it, and everybody's just letting them. That's like everybody was in a hurry to pass A64. But if you remember, the year before, everybody was at the Capitol bitching about the DUID, bitching about it. If you pass this, every medical patient might as well throw their driver's license in a wood chipper. I can quote that off many of my friends.
Right.
All right. The following year, when A64 went up, those same individuals said, oh, it's legalization. No, my friends. Please Read the wording in the legislation. They're sliding the DUID bill right underneath your noses.
Yes. Man, and we thought we
And
had
they're
that thing.
including you. They're including you, the patient, that you so vehemently fought against a year before. Now you're jumping on the bandwagon. And it goes back to that one sentence. One sentence. Unless have a medical deemed recommendation. That's all it had to add in there. And we wouldn't be in these fights right now. We wouldn't be at jeopardy of losing our license or have to get a blood test. We wouldn't be in none of that.
Well, I tell
We
you,
wouldn't have to be fighting none of this fight for these guys. But instead, we got to. Because we're being lumped in to inconsiderate people that wrote an inconsiderate law just to get it passed on the basis of compromise. Well, we did compromise. We told them we would bring tax money. And, oh, by the way, do me a favor. Look up that little thing that got reported in the national and world news that we turned in more tax money than the alcohol lobby.
right?
Now, if that don't buy us some fucking political clout, nothing will. It's time we stand up and take that clout.
I agree. I agree.
I'm serious. I'm angry about this, folks, because they're taking our right every day away that is supposed to be unalienable. They're not supposed to be able to do this. And the reason they are is because we're allowing them. You know why the founding fathers put in there home of the free or land of the free, home of the brave? Because they were fucking brave enough to make it free. We've lost our bravery in this country, folks. Stand up for what we feel is right. Yeah, I'm on the terrorist list because they listed us, and we believe in the Constitution, or, you know, we write our name in capital letter, or bullshit like that. They're going to put us on a watch list. Of course. The president, the one president that passed in the law that felons cannot own guns, was asked, after his fucking presidential term, was asked, what is one thing you regret? You know how they're asked is what is one thing you're proud of and one thing that you regret? Well, one thing that individual regretted was signing into law that they could that felons could not own weapons. And they asked him why. He said, now they can make everyone felons and take all of our guns away. And without our guns, we cannot remain free. Now think about that statement. All right, and that is how they're taking our rights away, folks. That president realized he was wrong, but it was too goddamn late. And nobody stood up to remind him before it happened. Who's the boss of this country? Is it the corporate overlords and the bankers in England and the bankers on Wall Street? Or is it we the people that in order to establish a more perfect land, believe these fine truths? Isn't that what it starts out to be? We the people.
Right.
Let's take back our power. And if that puts me on every fucking list those corrupt bastards want to put me on, then let them. Because as the beginning song said, know your fucking enemy. And they've already identified themselves to me.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Hey, man, the drug war. The drug war is a perfect example of where they've made me their enemy.
Right. Well, yeah.
They perpetrated a drug war against our own people. And if you're either on their side or you're against their side. And if you're against their side, you're their enemy. They've already made me their enemy, bro.
Right.
So I ain't got no other choice but to fight. Either that or there was a good saying one time. I remember hearing it. I can't tell you who said it because I'm not good on names and quotes. But I do remember the quote. It says, I would rather die on my feet than die on my knees.
Oh, damn. I should know who that is.
But, that's becoming more and more true because I will die for the truth. And I will die for what's right, whether that's what's right for everybody or if I'm fighting for my own individual rights, which in the end, by me fighting for my rights, I'm fighting for everyone else's rights. And that's what I want everyone to understand. That each and every one of us that walk into that courthouse and file these injunctions and file these claims against these county commissioners, we're standing up for everyone that is too scared, that don't have the knowledge, that don't have the ability, or don't have the fucking plain and simple guts to put their name on the dotted line and stand up. Because if we start losing one, they're going to take them all away. And next thing you know, we're going to wake up, and it's not going to be our country anymore. It's going to be theirs.
Well, you know what? They have been trying to close down the medical marijuana program since the beginning of A64. You know what?
Man, you know what? The same people that wrote Washington wrote this. Okay, they were involved. The same money that financed it, financed us, and their whole intended plan was to take away medical. And guess what? They have. They closed the co-op loophole. They closed the dispensary loophole. They've closed them all. The only way those patients in Washington are getting it, either black market or they're buying it in the rec centers and paying double the tax. Welcome to what's coming to Colorado if we don't start standing up for our right to produce our own medicine, folks. This is our medicine. Fuck what they want to do with 864 and all of these so-called rec users. Because my opinion is all of these so-called things that they call drugs, given in their natural form, cocoa leaves, poppy leaves, and cannabis, and organic medicine, because we are organic bodies. There are natural plants put here that do no harm. But with a chemical-made hand, they are deadly. Heroin and cocaine is number one on my list that I can tell you that with a chemical made from cocoa leaf to cocaine, it becomes deadly. Because if one of these days I'm going to break out my film festivals again, and I'm going to show you documented proof of young kids and people living into their 90s that do nothing but eat the cocoa leaf most of their life to suppress their hunger because it's a poor country. And you know why it's poor? Because they're in the middle of a fucking drug war. Who perpetrates that drug war? Our country. Again,
God bless America.
Perpetrating a war against us, taking our rights away from us. Only on the grounds, it's a drug. When in all actuality, our Creator put these organic plants on this planet for us to use as meat, as food, as medicine. Okay? And instead, they've turned them in to the devil's doing and the devil's drug that kills, maims, steals, destroys. A poppy seed, which we eat on buns all the time, mind you, okay, is not harmful. The poppy plant itself is a beautiful plant. In fact, we keep vets. Let me ask you this, man. Why do the vets every year sell poppies? This is a deep question. I need an answer. You're a veteran. Maybe you know. I do know. But maybe you know the tale they've told you, but you know really why?
Huh.
Because in fucking Vietnam, they were over there watching the heroin trade zones.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh! Wow! It was a drug war.
Yeah.
Huh. Imagine that. The great Veterans Poppy Day, in which we give them money to support them. What are we actually supporting? The fact that they went over there and perpetrated a drug war on innocent people that were being perpetrated in meetings for the trade of drugs.
Wow.
I mean, dude, yeah, wow.
Ain't that about when...
Oh, wait a minute, and we can do it again in Afghanistan for the vets coming home again, huh?
Right.
Oh, did I get too deep for you again?
Who, me?
I always do that on this show. I always go into a deep subject on this show. And I hope these people, our listeners, will challenge me on it. Will just at least do me a favor. Before you challenge me, do a little bit of research. Just do a little bit. Before you come and throw all your challenges or your governmental brainwash story that you've been told, do a little bit of backstory research for me. And then come with your argument. Because do not bring a knife to a gunfight when you want to debate me on these issues. Because I'll never speak on them if I haven't done my own research first.
Well, that's a good policy to have.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to be the guy that when I'm questioned about something and they ask me, where'd you find that out at? I'm not going to be the guy, I heard it from some guy that heard it from this other guy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be able to tell them I did my own fucking research and I know that by this, and this, and this. And that's where I found it. Go do a little bit of your fucking own.
Right.
Because, I just always learn, man, that if you go with an empty gun, you're shooting blanks. I'm not going to say something unless I've done at least a small amount of research into the subject.
Well, exactly.
Now, yeah, I've had a lot of people who call me crazy.
Oh,
call
really?
me a fucking conspiracy theorist weirdo.
Oh, well.
And you know what? At this point, man, I consider that a fucking compliment. I do, because if I'm sure you've read 1984, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I have. I'm sorry, yes.
All right, well, what does it say in there about that exact subject? Those that speak the truth will be called crazy and conspiracy theorists because the others are led to believe the lies. It speaks directly of that, man. I'm realizing that some idiot along the way, or a group of idiots, obviously, has picked up 1984 and Animal Farm and decided, hey, this is a great playbook because we're fucking idiots and we can't come up with an original idea. I mean, really, dude, if anybody out there has ever read those books and just take a minor look, a microscopic overview look of what's really fucking going on around us, it's all right there in the pages of 1984, and it goes further with Animal Farm. So, no, actually, wait a minute. Animal Farm was actually before 1984, if I'm not mistaken. And if our listeners out there know, please chime in and let us know whether I'm right or wrong, please. I'm not sure which book came out first, but I know I've read both of them. But, it's awful weird when you can read a book and go, hey, wait a minute, this is deja vu, and this book says it's fucking fiction. Hey, and you know what's really getting scary is if you watch Back to the fucking Future, the president, which is called Bitch in fucking Back to the Future, when he goes to the future, kind of looks like fuckhead Donald Trump.
Really? I have to check
Am I
that
wrong?
out. No, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Am I wrong? I'm telling you, man. He's got the hair and all that. He's got the same fucking grandiose attitude. Oh, man, it's scary.
Huh. Interesting.
We can talk about the deep subjects all night. But listen, man, just maybe somebody is gonna listen to this cast or be listening that has friends of ours, not ours, friends of their own, that just may know one of the El Paso County Commissioners. And please, please, please encourage them to listen to this podcast, because I myself wish to end it on this statement. And I'm going to put this out publicly and let everyone know that I am not I am not afraid to follow through with this because come Monday morning, I'm going down to get the court papers. All right. Do you have anything more to add before I read this?
No, go for it, man. Read it.
All right. This is To Whom It May Concern. My name is Reverend Patrick Partridge, and I am speaking on behalf of the public interest to place all of you commissioners on notice that the invalid ordinance you are attempting to pass not only violates the state of Colorado and the United States Constitution, along with the authority of the public. Let me remind you who is boss. In Article 2, Section 1 of the Colorado Constitution and the Supreme Court ruling in People versus Patrick Kelly, along with many other cases in which the court has sided with the public. And furthermore, law enforcement will have no authority to enforce this invalid ordinance. Therefore, if the law enforcement officials choose to enforce this invalid ordinance, they also will be in violation of due process, and you have been put on official notice.
Right on. Now you're gonna have to post that to the page, though, so everybody can watch it.
I will. In fact, it's on my page. It's on the El Paso County Commissioner Warriors page. All I'm saying is, look, change the name and do it up.
Well, I'm going to your page right now.
Change the name, but you got to go and you got to read it and you got to let them know that you're putting them on notice that if they violate your rights, you're going to go file this suit. And you're going to win because of this precedent. That Supreme Court ruling with the People versus Kelly states unequivocally that you cannot change any parts of the state constitution without the people's vote. That is not in the public interest for you to unilaterally make these decisions that you are. I want to make it clear that, there's a lot of people that say they're going to do something. I am not, nor anyone involved that is ministers of Green Faith. When they tell you they're going to do something, look on our track record. We do it, and we do it well. Okay? We sue individually, but always know that we have everyone's rights in mind when we sue, when our rights are violated. It's not when we win for everyone. See, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Right.
When one wins, everyone wins. But we all got to stand up and be willing to fight this fight.
Most definitely. And
and I'm just to the point where I'm just done waking up and having more of my rights taken away.
And
because I know the definition. I understand the definition of unalienable.
Unalienable?
Inalienable, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
it means you can't infringe on them. It says shall not be infringed.
Well, I do want to add to this that for people that are in other states, maybe in states that aren't legalized right now, you will have this fight coming to you once your state does go legalized. Trust me, especially if you go medical first.
Oh, yeah.
So,
because they're all following the Colorado model.
Damn right. So, I mean, it is an important issue because, you will have to deal with it here shortly. Because every state that is legalized medical marijuana first, they've all dealt with it. And they're going to deal with it as they legalize recreational marijuana nationwide. Because, they don't want the medical marijuana program. They don't want it.
No, because they can charge more taxes on the so-called rec. And I don't even like that word rec. Let's call it what it is. It's adult responsible use.
Right? It is.
Okay? There's nothing recreational about it when you got to be responsible with it. Because when I'm playing ping pong and I swing that fucking paddle and I hit that ping pong ball, there ain't nothing responsible about where I'm slinging it to the other side. And that's recreational, or when I'm hitting a racquetball.
Right.
I'm not responsible for the outcome of a game or something like that. Okay? And that's recreation. Let's call it what it is. It's adult responsible use. Now, I'm not beyond... No, you know what? I am beyond that. If you set any restriction on my fucking flag count, that's an infringement on my rights, and I will take you to court. Because now there is wrongdoers that's going to do damage, but those people are going to do damage regardless.
Right.
Do your
most
due
definitely.
diligence and enforce the law that's already established called property damage and file criminal charges against them that way. Or if they're pirating electricity, that's theft of services. We've already got a charge for that. Okay? What I'm tired of is we already got laws on the books. We're going to burden the legislative and the law system even more with more laws against them. When if they just enforce the laws that are already there, they wouldn't have the problem that they're claiming they have.
Right.
Only thing they're whining about is the fact that you're growing your own and they can't control the tax money, the tax revenue. They can't get there big. That's what they want. They're telling you. She even said, if you got a higher plant count, turn it over to a commercial grower who has paid a commercial license, who is in that tax loop that you got to buy it back from and pay more taxes on so they get a bigger piece of the big.
Right? Fuck that.
Are you seeing my point here in the sixth cycle that's beginning to be fucking present?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. I mean, they're taxing the front end of the horse and the back end.
They're taxing the whole fucking rodeo.
Right.
They want to. And see, with us growing our own, they can't have that controlled tax. See, the system of seed to sale, the tracking system is not a bad idea. But when you want to tax every step of that fucking deal, that's the bad idea.
Right.
That's the wrong part of it.
Because
The legitimate tracking of these plants, of these legal plants, is not a bad idea.
now,
All right? I wouldn't mind allowing them like you. Even when the authorities came in to do you harm, you invited them in.
right?
You invited the inspection
I did.
because you believed that you were living within the law.
Right. Right.
You weren't stealing power. You didn't do extensive damage to your landlord's property.
Nope.
Okay, you were living within the law. Okay, but yeah, if you lived in El Paso County, by doing that, by living within your constitutional rights, you're a criminal still. Even though you've established your innocence in court already, they're going to pass another land use law. Land use law. They're going to make a land use law criminal now. We've gone beyond helter-skelter here, brother.
Well,
This should always be, dude, do you realize this type of violation is usually a civil matter paid for off in fines? We're not Wall Street bankers ripping people off here. I mean, and that's what they're looking at us as.
well, we got to...
Let's-
I'm sorry. We got to ask why are they doing this? And I believe. Okay, do you remember when A64? Okay, when the the yes on 64 and no on 64 was going on. Okay, and
they lied to everybody, and they got in trouble by the election committee. Let's be honest with everybody. Them people got in trouble by the election board for promoting it as treated like alcohol, because that's not the wording of the legislation that they were trying to sell.
Right. Well,
now, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But look it up in the election board. They got fucking in trouble because they had to change it toward the end of the election. They weren't allowed to promote it that way anymore.
Right. That's very true. But okay, now in the middle of the wording of A64, there was one sentence that was stuck in the middle of a bunch of big old paragraphs that, they were trying to sneak this sentence in. And they were talking about the medical marijuana program in A64. And they had said that if they find out that said program, which is the medical marijuana program, becomes non-viable, that they are going to shut down said program. Okay, now this...
Hey, hold on a minute. Doesn't that sound exactly their intent by hijacking our MMED and everything like that?
Yeah, and like I said, it was posted like right in the middle of everything, so it was like dead center in the middle of all the wording. And if you were skimming through it, you might have missed it because, like I said, it was only like a 1 or 2 sentence paragraph.
Hey, that's no different than that sentence in there that says if it's passed, it allows them to establish the DUID law.
Right, well...
But everybody argued with me before the vote. No, that ain't in there. That ain't in there at all. Read it. Please, read it.
Right.
Read it word for word.
Because that is...
And you'll see what I mean.
That is the only reason that I voted no on A64 was because of that one sentence. There was 2.
Hey man, there was more than 1 or 2 and 5 or 10 or. It was a poorly written piece of legislation.
Well, it was, but
no, wait a minute. I don't want to hear your argument. It was a good step. We could fix it later. Because we all know A20 was fucked up by 1284, and nobody took fucking interest in fixing that. So, wait a minute. Don't add more when you got to know already fucked up if you're trying to fix it. If your intent is to add it now and fix it later. No.
My case...
That's rule number 1. That argument is hollow to me. So I don't need that debate. That debate is hollow.
As far as I'm concerned.
Number 2. First off, the reason people and states and organizations, whatever, do a signature initiative ballot, okay, is because their legislator is not, number 1, compromising or doing their will. They're not willing to or otherwise. So now we are forced to go out and gather signatures to force you to do what we want you to do, what we elected you to do in the first place, or at least compromise with us for us to accomplish the same goal. But you were unwilling to do that. So we go out and we get these said signatures. Now, what I've always learned in politics is usually the same language that's voted on is the same language that people read in the petition when they sign their signature. And that is what is voted in the law by law. Supposedly, at least that's the way I understood the definition of it. I could be wrong. If there's people out there that know, please let me know. But as I understand the definition of that, is you don't go out and work all that trouble getting fucking signatures to take the legislation to write the legislation that you want there to do in the first place. That's making you do double the work in the job that they're being paid to do already. The will of the people. And that's not right. That's why I didn't vote for 64. It left too many hollow rules in there. It said the sentence that allowed the legislator to fill in the fucking blank and let them have carte blanche, just like what we're facing now.
Oh, yeah,
They put in there that counties can opt out. But did it put in there that they had to opt out of receiving the school money as well? No.
I thought that was bullshit myself, man. If they opted out, then they shouldn't have gotten any of that tax money.
Hello? I mean, no, they didn't want to be bothered with that. We couldn't sell that, but we could throw the medical side under the bus and steal their property, okay, and steal their I'll go to my grave knowing that they stole all of Denver patients' property with that one-time buy-off to send it all over to rec. Because I know plenty of patients that went without medication on the rec side of their caregivers was open, but they were out of meds on the medical side. I know of stories that the people in Denver that went to their dispensary, their registered caregiver dispensary, and they were out of meds, but they can go buy it on the rec side. And that was their meds being sold over there.
Yeah.
Now, was there any provision that the patients would be compensated by a tax day or any kind of holiday? No. The patients have been screwed since the beginning, since 1284. And it's time it stopped. 1284 supersedes 64, and no law can be written against the law already, unless it's amended by the voters.
Right.
And there was no vote to amend page 20.
I mean, I've always said that according to the Colorado Constitution Amendment 20, 1284 is unconstitutional. Okay, I've been.
1284 is unconstitutional.
That's what I said. I've always stated that. I've never wavered.
And then if 1284 is unconstitutional, then 64 has to be. And the only reason it is now I'll lay out the points. I'll lay out the points that I believe deems it unconstitutional, because it overwrites the rights already given. It removes rights already given and established in 820 against those medically deemed cannabis patients. With that alone, and I don't give a shit what else is in, because they neglected to establish the difference between the already established law and the new law. They essentially changed 820 without taking it to a people's vote with 64. Because of that sentence you brought up. That one sentence changes everything that they're trying to do with 864. But ain't nobody brought that fight in yet, bro.
Right.
Everybody just acquiesced. That one sentence right there, it makes it unconstitutional because it violates the rights already established in 820.
Now, did you hear that the state of Colorado is they are actively encouraging patients to not renew their reg cards and to go over to the recreational side?
Dude, they're intimidating doctors to only give them 6 plants, just like saying, yeah, last year I thought you were almost fucking dead, and I knew your illness wasn't getting any better, and I knew you needed this many plants. But hey, this year, you're fine. Ain't nothing medically changed with you. But this year, you're fine. Go take a fucking Tylenol like they do in the rec, or get a 6-pack of beer and you'll be all right.
Right.
Wait. And there again, I asked the same question to whether I'm going to my prescription pushing doctor, pill pushing doctor, or I go to these fucking doctors. Why did you go to college if you're going to let them, if you're going to ask for this, the fucking laws over and above your education level? They're taking away your education level right away. Don't they owe you a refund of what you paid to go to get schooling, to do and diagnose, to do what you do? If they can just send you a threatening letter and say, we don't care what you say anymore. You can only do plan. Wait a minute. 820 deeds right away. It says you can hold criminal a patient, caregiver, or medical physician. That's constitutional rights, already plainly established. And what does A64 do? Rewrites that. Rewrites all of that by not making that one sentence that me and you spoke up earlier in the show. That one sentence would have ended a lot of these arguments and fights. Because if a medical necessity bursts, and I hate using the word patient because every time we use that, we give up our right of privacy. And we shouldn't have to do that either. That's why we're just citizens standing up for every right. That's why I said I'm standing up in the public interest.
Right.
You know, it's the way we word things. You know, by admitting I'm a patient, I give up my right to privacy. And that's along the federal HIPAA rights. You know, I don't have to do that. I willingly do that, unknowingly that I willingly do that because of the way I'm taught to speak. Now, if we learn how to establish ourselves to begin with, like they do, by saying this is lawyer speak, well, there again, we go back to the subject we were on before. Using their laws against them. And just changing the wording of a few things changes the whole meaning to the whole damn thing. As I said, if that lady said the state law says 12 plants, 6 plants medical, 6 plants rec, that's it, that's all. Wait a minute. You're cutting off the end of that sentence. So in other words, you're not only not reading it right, you're interpreting only half of the sentence.
Right.
True meaning out of only half of something. How can you get at the intent of something by only reading half of it? Because the person is left to defeat that otherwise think medical necessary. That sentence is clear right there. But you kind of chop that off when they add that, when they want to do that 6 and 12 in there.
Right, right.
Wait a minute. You can't. No. You can't write a law and say this is a law, but wait a minute. We can change it whenever we want, and then we don't care what we wrote over here because you won't stand up for it anyway.
Right. That's it. You know, and like you said earlier, you know, that the people just don't know the laws, and so they're not going to say when it's wrong.
Well, they're not. Well, dude, they've never bothered to read a law before they vote on it to pass it, to realize the rights that they have. Either that or the rights that they've been told they have, they've never exercised properly. They've never understood how to exercise them properly. But that's ignorance, man. I'm not mad at no one through ignorance. It's their fault we're ignorant. They should educate us. We pay the most of any fucking free nation in the world for education, and we got the stupidest fucking people in the world.
How did that work, right? How did that happen?
I don't know. But if I'm lying, tell me, please.
Well, you know.
Come on, man. It's just simple. You know, when I was going to school, they taught civics in fucking elementary and middle school.
Right.
Now they don't even teach it until it's a fucking paid college course.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't want you to know anything about the system. They want you to take your eyes off of what they're doing.
Right.
So they can just do what the fuck they want to do. And you think, it's all right. It's the law. If they say it's okay, it's got to be all right because they're always right. They're part of this nanny fucking state that believes that anything that comes out of a politician's mouth has got to be the God-honest fucking truth. And I'm tired of it. Because they're not taking our rights away, man. We're letting them. We're just giving them to them.
We are, and happily.
Happily. And I love those people that say, hell, let them watch me. I'm not doing anything wrong. What are you worried about? If you're not doing anything wrong, what do you care? It's not the point whether you're doing anything right or wrong. It's the question is, do they have the right to fucking look in on you in the first place?
Right.
Do you have a right to privacy according to the Constitution, or don't you? And if you don't, who gave them bastards permission to change it? That is the question. It doesn't matter whether you're doing anything wrong or not. And who gives them the fuckers permission to watch you?
Right. Man.
That's all I want to know. I want to know who gave them permission to violate my rights.
Oh, the Patriot Act gave them that permission.
Oh, no. I don't even recognize that piece of toilet paper.
I'm just telling you, that's what gave them that right.
Dude, here we go again. You cannot pass a law against the Constitution unless it's either, number one, well, in the case of a federal Constitution, we got to have a federal government convention, which is the state's decision. Here we go, states' rights, federal rights. Oh, hold on a second. We're going to have to take another 15 minutes for me to explain this all out. The only way you can change the Constitution is through a constitutional convention. You cannot pass any laws unilaterally. You can make amendments, but they gotta be according to the Constitution. They can't take away rights and not be amendments. They cannot be an act or this great thing that Obama likes to be using and Bush used them too. They're called executive orders.
Oh, yeah. Clinton was a good one on that one, too.
Executive orders ain't laws, folks, and we don't have to recognize them as such. And neither is the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act, it deems us that have American-born citizens no rights, goes completely against the Constitution.
Right.
So it is not a law to me. And what did Thomas Jefferson say about unjust laws?
That we must not follow.
It's our duty to not follow. It's our duty not to fucking recognize unjust law.
No.
As free men of America, not the corporation. Not the corporation that these fuckers think we live under. No. Under the Founding Fathers' wording of the Constitution. No. That's why he said that shit.
Well, you know...
if anybody's interested in why this country and why the Constitution is what it is and what it was written about and why it was what it is, why it was painstakingly written, and a lot of men bled, and a lot of men fucking died while all this was in progress. Read the Federalist Papers. Read the arguments between true patriot men that believed in true individual natural freedoms of every man. Now, yeah, back in the day, they wrote that shit about the blacks, but then they amended it. But really, with the Emancipation Act, let's be honest, and the 14th Amendment, all the 14th Amendment did was actually change the fucking wording of the Constitution and made it a corporation and emancipated the blacks in order so they could make us all slaves. Their intent was to make us all slaves. All right? I'm a Native American. If you don't think we went through the biggest fucking Holocaust in the world, you ain't seen shit yet. The Jews want to claim it, but let's count real blood. All right? Now, yeah, do I believe that the blacks were wrong? Yeah. But in the end, they were wrong by their own fucking people because there wasn't no white people getting off the fucking boats in Africa looking and going and capturing those black slaves. It was their own black people selling those black slaves to the white European settlers.
Well, I mean... slavery's been going on since the dawn of time. Oh shit, we lost Patrick Partridge here. But we were getting to the end of our show anyways. So guys, I am going to go ahead and close this up with some music, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And you know, until next week, guys, man, stay well, stay blessed, and you know, don't stand to have your rights fucking trampled on, man. You must stand up. You know, I was always told, you know, you must stand for something, otherwise you'll fall for anything. I don't know, that always stuck with me, man. I didn't want to be that one to fall for just anything. So, alright guys, you have a great night, a great week, and we will be talking to you soon.
TH Custom Promotions. That's right, TH Custom Promotions, your promotional product headquarters. It's the home of the branding man. Quality custom products you can't find anywhere else. I'm talking about you can get wonderful trays. You can get papers with your name on them. You can get 3-piece grinders, t-shirts and sweatshirts, apothecary jars, disposable lighters, caps and headwear. And you can get this all with the branding man at TH Custom Promos. That's TH Custom Promos. And you can find them at thcustompromos.com. That's thcustompromos.com. And tell them Can Olympics sent you. I'm different.
I just graduated from Cannabis University.
Ooh, a university man.
I learned all about the law.
Oh, you bad boy.
And I learned how to grow my own medicine all in one day.
All day.
I learned other things too.
Cannabis University, teach me.
Call 303-886-7998 or go to CannabisUniversityInc.com.
cotton, Lord, cotton's high. Lord's high. Your dad's rich, and your mom's so good looking, babe. She's looking good now. Hush, baby, 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 baby. No, 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 don't you cry. Don't you you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings, shout and take to the sky. Love the sky until the honey, nothing's going to harm you now. Na 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 na. Don't you cry.
I got a black magic woman, got me so blind I can't see. That she's a black magic woman, she's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Yes, don't turn your back on me, baby. Stop messing around with your tricks. got your spell on me, baby. Yes, you got your spell on me, baby. Turning my heart into stone. I need you so bad, magic woman, I can't live
that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.